Thank you so much. It's lovely to have you all here in person, as mentioned, and for those online, thanks for streaming in. We're going to start the event with me trying to work the clicker, which I think is disconnected. Which is fine because it lets you settle down. There we go. So we would like to acknowledge this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and we pay our respects to elders past, present, and future. As mentioned, thank you so much for coming along. This is the Digital AdOps event. It is actually the 10th event of its kind in this in these pandemic times. We might be up to sort of 12 or 13, I can't remember. I think we tried to put this actual event on 3 times in the end. Once I even flew up from Melbourne to Sydney and pretty quickly had to go back and then isolate for 2 weeks, which was awesome. So this event started as a sort of social extension to one of the councils, our Standards and Guidelines Council, which we naturally felt that a lot of the roles that many of you do or many in the industry do at the coalface weren't always well represented. So we wanted to have an event that was conducive to a little more detail, going into the work that many of you as practitioners do in platform. And that's sort of grown from there. And you can see from some of the topics and, to be honest, some of the speakers, that it's got a little bigger than that in some ways. So feedback, honestly, that you still feel it's relevant and it's still set up to be doing what we intended it to do, and which the Standard and Guidelines Council intended to do. And that's not to be afraid of going into the details. So where we have the Slido reference, so if you go either online or web-based sli.do, or you can download the app. So you can ask questions as you go along, and we'll incorporate them into the flow. You've got a network password there to log in. I think you've all worked out where the lavatory's outside. The networking drinks are apparently happening somewhere else other than out there. I don't know when, but where, but we'll make that clear to you. In this building somewhere, right. Which is very exciting, and we've extended that to 8 o'clock as one of the sponsors, Stack Adapters, come in to support that for us. So thank you very much. So do feel prepared and comfortable answering questions either through Slido or stick your hand up, and don't be afraid of asking the difficult, detailed questions. That's the purpose of this event. And if we can't answer them, we'll follow up with a blog, or we've actually had working groups and outputs that have come from this event because there's bits and pieces that were deemed important. And we'll make a couple of commitments today for a couple of the councils as we go along. We can't do this, obviously, without you guys turning up, whether in person or online, and we can't do it without our sponsors. So thank you so much to all of you that are mucking in, getting your hands dirty, whether it's content, whether it's sponsoring the refreshments, which Google do, or sponsoring the networking drinks, as Stack Adapt do. All the others are involved in putting the content together alongside us, and we massively appreciate that. And that's kind of the way that we do tend to work across the councils anyway. We all kind of muck in, get on with it, and it's that collaborative approach that we really enjoy. So in terms of the content, we've tried to touch upon some key topics. I hope you feel you agree with that. And actually, I think the last time we want to put on this event, it felt like everyone wanted to do identity. The time before that, everyone wanted to do CTV. Time before that, everyone wanted to do header bidding or auction mechanics or whatever. So it's nice that we've got a bit of a good balance, I think, in terms of the most important topics of the day. Again, feedback, get involved. We open with the ACCC, which is exciting, and that's an important piece of work that's happening collaboratively. As an industry, we're all responsible for how we basically sort ourselves out with some of the recommendations that will be made into government, and we can be a part of that. So that, I think, is key. And then to finish on careers, to all of you as people, how we support you, and that lack of the talent shortage that we're seeing, the impact it's having on businesses and the impact it's having on a lot of you day to day is something that we want to be able to support.